educational system was developed and, alternatives to it in ways that people could actually learn things as opposed to just regurgitating facts that teachers told them. And that kind of led me down this path of questioning things. Once I questioned the school I was in, I questioned the society that built the school, I questioned the businesses that the schools were training people for, and I questioned the government that, set up this whole structure.
One of the things he was most passionate about was copyright, especially in those early days.
Copyright has always been something of a burden on the publishing industry and on readers, but it wasn't an excessive burden. It was a reasonable institution to have in place to make sure that people got paid. What Aaron's generation experienced was the collision between this antique copyright system and this amazing new thing we were trying to build, the internet and the web. These things collided, and what we got was chaos.
He then met Harvard law professor Lawrence Lessig, who was then challenging copyright law in the Supreme Court. A young Aaron Swartz flew to Washington to listen to the Supreme Court hearings. Lessig was also moving forward with a new way to define copyright on the internet. It was called Creative Commons.
So the simple idea of Creative Commons is to give people, creators, a simple way to mark their creativity with the freedoms they intended to carry. So if copyright is all about all rights reserved, then this is the kind of some rights reserved model. It's I want a simple way to say to you, here's what you can do with my work, even if there are other things which you need to get my permission before you could do. And Aaron's role was the computer part. Like, how do you architect the licenses so they would be simple and understandable and expressed in a way that machines could process it?
And people are like, why do you have this, 15-year-old kid writing the specifications for the Creative Commons? Like, don't you think that's a huge mistake? And Larry's like, the biggest mistake we would have is not listening to this kid.
He barely is not even tall enough to get over the podium. And it wasn't these movable podiums, so it was an embarrassing thing where once he put his screen up, nobody could see his face. So.
When you come to our website here, and you go to choose license, it gives you this list of options. It explains what it means, and you fill out 3 simple questions. Do you want to require attribution? Do you want to allow commercial uses of your work? Do you want to allow modifications of your work?
I was floored, just completely flabbergasted that these adults regarded him as an adult. And Aaron stood up there in front of a whole audience full of people and just started talking about the platform that he'd created for Creative Commons. And they were all listening to him. I was sitting at the back thinking, he's just a kid. Why are they listening to him? But they did. Well, I don't think I comprehended it fully.
Though critics have said it does little to ensure artists get paid for their work, the success of Creative Commons has been enormous. Currently on the website Flickr alone, over 200 million people use some form of Creative Commons license.
He contributed through his technical abilities, and yet it was not simply a technical matter to him.
Aaron often wrote candidly in his personal blog.
I think deeply about things, and I want others to do likewise. I work for ideas and learn from people. I don't like excluding people. I'm a perfectionist, but I won't let that get in the way of publication. Except for education and entertainment, I'm not going to waste my time on things that won't have an impact. I try to be friends with everyone, but I hate it when you don't take me seriously. I don't hold grudges. It's not productive, but I learn from my experience. I want to make the world a better place.